Good afternoon. Everybody hear me okay? Okay, I'm really going to focus on keeping this mic in the right spot. Good to see everybody today. Our team, unfortunately, today is a little short-handed. Ed, our new director of plant operations, relax. He's still with us and doing well. He's got food poisoning. Not. Sam wants you to know it's not from WOG, and it's not. He told me where. I won't repeat it, but he also shared his symptoms, and we don't want him here today. So he's home recovering, and he expects to be here tomorrow. So I'll do my best to cover his part. But he felt really bad he couldn't be here to be part of this today. So hopefully you'll see him back out and about tomorrow. Um, Another leader not available today, Amy Bassett. I'll be doing her update, and she's not here. She's not here because of a really good reason. We're just so overrun with tours right now. If you haven't noticed it out in the hallways and everything, um, it's kind of hard to keep all the names straight with the people we're bringing in and meeting and everything. It's really exciting, um, but they're touring, and we're starting to get wait lists in more and more areas. So WOG's a pretty high demand right now, so we're trying to keep up. So it's all good. Of course, per our tradition, we will start off our meeting with some clean, appropriate jokes from Sam Kolner and our dining services update.
Thank you, Damon. Good afternoon, everyone. Spring's finally here. What a relief. Relief. Huh? Interesting fact, do you know what your winter fat turns into? Spring rolls. Okay. Uh, I noticed that there was a mattress store over here having a spring sale, but unfortunately the rest of the bed is still full price. So, there you go. Moving on. Yeah, they were clean at least. I don't know if they were good. All right. Guthrie County meat sales are going well, especially the meat sticks, ribs, and steaks. And now you can order online just like you can in the other departments. If you order online, your order will be bagged up and ready for you at the counter. And speaking of that, we are increasing the hours in the bistro counter to be open pretty much all the time. The only time you should have to ring the bell is sometime between 2 and 3 during afternoon break times, but even during that time, you can still ring the bell and someone will come and assist you at the counter. So it's open all day. Let's see. Mother's Day will be about the same as Easter. We'll have the sign-up sheets for reservations over 4 people, and we'll have the overflow in here in the auditorium. So we'll run it about the same way. Mother's Day just around the corner. Food safety. One of the most important, if not, I mean, it is the most important part of our job here. And we recently had our annual health inspection, and I'm happy to report we passed with flying colors. The only thing they found was one sign by one of our many hand washing sinks that wasn't there. So, but don't worry, we'll get that sign back up as soon as we can. Let's see. Oh, and finally, I'm working with maintenance to get the mansion patio set up soon and be ready since we have some nicer weather coming finally. It's open all the time and a great place to enjoy the outdoors. This summer, I'm also working on a way to have the outdoor spaces have access to some food and beverage options there's a half door that connects to the mansion from the courtyard. And so having that be a little, you can walk up to the window and get a lemonade or something, and then you can enjoy the courtyard and sip on something cool and enjoy that space out there. So more to come when I get that figured out. I think that's it from me for now. Anybody have anything for me? Yes, sir. Yes. Sante is essentially the bistro. When I say the bistro, it's that area right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Next up is Brian. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. If you notice that didn't work, it's been corrected. So that's it. Oh, the question was, is the Guthrie County meat available to use on your meal allowance? And the answer is yes. So, all right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I think I know everybody in here, but just in case, my name is Ryan Amundsen. I'm the Director of Wellbeing. Wanted to start off with a couple kind of happy updates and recaps from last week. So we had two big events going on last week, and the first one I want to touch on is the book drive that we had going on for the better part of the month of April. In total, we had 135 books donated to us from residents and team members here. And we've already begun distributing them to the small little neighborhood libraries, which has been kind of fun to see. But we still have 5 or 6 bags of books still in the Catalyst room that need to be distributed. So if you or family members would like to take a bag and donate it to any of these little libraries around their neighborhoods, feel free to stop in and grab a bag. They'll probably be in the Catalyst for another day, and then we will take them to some other team members to distribute. But all in all, it was a great success to have that many books donated and then be spread out amongst the community. So that was a really fun program that we'll be doing again in the future. The next thing I wanted to touch on is the Arbor Day program that we did last week with the Greenwood students. In total, we planted 101 trees with the Greenwood students. It was a lot of fun. We found out that kids are much more hyper after lunch. So it was a ton of fun. We had a blast with them. They came to us really hyper, so what we did is give them cookies and lemonade and sent them back. So, but no, it was a fun program and just kind of another step towards more partnerships with Greenwood. Some things we're going to be doing in the future is we're going to work on doing a little art gallery with them as well as the students being the artists. I had some people suggest doing the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader program with them versus us. So we're going to have some fun with Greenwood over the course of this next year. But that event was really great, so I appreciate all the volunteers and the residents that helped put that program on. Yes, Sarah? Yes, so Sarah asked if that was the first time we've done this particular event with them, and it is. So this will be an annual thing that we do with them now. Yep. Yes, yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and like Sarah said, it is something that we want to do every year. But just knowing from my own children, the 9 a.m. crowd, I don't think they were fully awake yet. So they were really nice. They were orderly. It was great. The third grade group had just been fed and went to recess, so they were ready to party. But it was a lot of fun. We'll be doing that with them again in the future. We're going to make that an annual event. So, all right. So the next thing, the not so fun update, the pool. So the treadmill pool and the hot tub in particular. So the hot tub, we had a little issue with the correct parts being delivered for that on Friday. So they had to reorder a few new parts. I'm told they're going to be here tomorrow. And once they're in, it's a quick little swap and it's up and running. So the hot tub is the easiest of the 2 bodies of water for me to update you on. Okay. So unfortunate that the wrong part showed up, but that'll be up and running soon. The treadmill pool, we are still working with the techs that'll come in and repair the floor. Kind of where we're at on that is it's about the only show in town that specializes in that type of repair. So the plaster on the floor and the tile and making it totally waterproof. The only downside with that is we are kind of at their mercy with scheduling. So they've come in, they've cleaned the area and gotten it prepped for new plaster and new tile. As soon as the new tiles come in, they are telling us they are going to be able to come in and install that. The only downside is we are being told at best next week we'll be able to open that up. So stay tuned for more updates. I appreciate the patience on that. Barring something unforeseen, the hot tub should be opened sooner rather than later, but the treadmill pool, we're still kind of waiting on those last components to be brought in and installed. So a little bit more of a waiting game on that. But in the meantime, the big pool is open, running, everything's functioning just fine with that. If you get a chance, knock on some wood for me. But that one is working just fine. So any questions on the pool before I move on from that? No, it's been a touchy subject lately. Okay. I will update when that is finally up and running. I don't know, you might hear fireworks or something go off. We'll make a big parade of it. So a couple more things. We are going to be starting a new program, hopefully in May, depending on how our hiring is going for our fitness and wellness coordinator position. But I taunted some of the directors with this last week, but we are going to start a Are You Stronger Than a Resident program where we have our directors and team members work out with our residents. So I want to add an additional class. It's not going to replace anything we're doing, but have a fun, kind of relaxed program where we can exercise together. So more information to come. I would love to get some more help for Megan and I before I just start adding to the calendar. But that is a program that we are wanting to start up here pretty soon. May is National Fitness Month, so that's kind of where we're aiming to kick that off. But a fun way to put Damon in his place and go against him. So if you're interested in being a part of these workout programs, I was seeing if he was paying attention. So if you're interested in being a part of that, just let me know, and I'll kind of get a list of residents that want to participate in that. And then just one minor thing, the art gallery up front, you might have noticed that it's empty right now. I have a photographer that's going to be bringing some of his photos in, hopefully by Thursday this week. He's trying to organize that before he heads out of town, but we do have more art on the way. So that's something I'd heard a couple questions on this morning already. Any other questions for me before I pass it over to Wiki to talk about what's coming up this month? Carol? Yeah. So Carol asked if I know what happened to the trash can that we had out there for our event. I saw it get wheeled away to be emptied, and it sounds like it didn't come back. So I will follow up with that. I know who took it, so we'll be able to find it, but I will follow up on that. Anything else for me? All right. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Ellie. Yeah. That is a really good question. So Ellie asked if there's a spot here on campus where residents can go grill their own food, essentially, right? Um, I would say right now the short answer is we don't have anything currently, but that is something we could kind of work together on, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that after. That's a great idea, Ellie. Yeah. So that's an easy thing that we can cross off the list. So I appreciate you bringing that up. So yeah, I'm always down for a good grill out. So. All right. Anything else for me? All right. Thank you, everybody.
For the vertically impaired. Hello, everyone. I hope you know who I am. I'm Wiki. I've been here for 32 years. If you don't know me, I'm not doing my job. So anyway, we are starting out May with a bang. We are having a May Day style show featuring the newest fashions from our Gather and Gab store, which is located on the lower level. We will open up the shop this Friday after the show, so you can do some shopping if you see anything you like. The fun will start at 2 o'clock in here. Friends and families are invited. A light dessert will be served, so please call me to reserve your table. We did this once before and found it was fun, and our residents are the models, so that will be kind of fun. Bring your friends and family. Next Tuesday, May 5th, see Steve Schatz's project, and it's called Simon Estes, A Heart and a Voice, Documentary and Conversation. It will be shown here at 1:30 in the auditorium. Special thanks to Governor Branstad and his wife, Chris, who have brought Simon Estes to us. He will be here in person, as will the director and producer of the documentary. We'll be one of the first to see it, and we highly would recommend that you come and share some of your ideas and stories, too. There will be a tea or just some refreshments afterwards if you have conversations and would like to speak to Simon. So hopefully you'll all be here to attend that. May is a musical month for us, starting out with Muriel Pemble and her friend Judith have put together a special program for our May birthday party on the 11th. There'll be several youth choruses coming to us. Des Moines Christian School will be here, and also the Axe Academy. They're the homeschool group that are just wonderful vocal performers. They'll bring their ministry team and sing to you, and that will be on May 20th. Also, we're starting our seasons where we're having a jazz band every month, and this month's jazz band will be the Junction Jazz Society group. They'll be here on Thursday, May 20th. Still determined whether they'll be inside or outside, depending on our weather, which seems to be kind of up and down. And for those that are interested in travel, there will be a meeting to roll out our itinerary, and it's all in print for you for the Wesleyan Grand trip to Italy, to Tuscany, next October. We leave the 8th and come back the 15th. Complete, everything's all set and ready to go. All I need is you all to sign up. And again, the friends and families of Wesley members are welcome to go with us. So if you're interested, do come to our meeting, which will be Tuesday, July 12th. That will be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Catalyst. And next, I'd like to bring Ellie Brooks up. Ellie, I'm going to turn this over to you. We'll need our prizes. Ellie has done a wonderful job with the scavenger hunt and the cookie jars. So I'm going to hand this over to you.
Okay, here they are. We have 9 cookie jars that are all collector cookie jars. They're from the McCoy Pottery Company in Ohio, and they were all made in 1940 to early 1960 timeframe. And we found them in storage before they were preparing to do the construction of this new area. They had stored a lot of things away. And Mary Gottschalk, who's here today, and we surveyed the storage room, and we created a record of what we found down there. And we found these wonderful cookie jars. And so through the month of April, every Monday, we had a group of people who were out on a scavenger hunt trying to find where we hid them. Now, there are stories to be told about this little guy here. He actually got wheels, and he drove away, and we had to go find him, and we did find him. So today is the final day. All of the entries are in, and I'm going to have Wiki draw for the winners. The winners are getting compliments of Sam for... Oh, Damon's drawing. Okay. There, you can only win once. So, yeah, go ahead and just take it to Damon. You can only win once. So, Damon, if you draw the name a second time, just set it aside and thank him for playing.
Oh, we're starting off with a bang. I could say the name, right? Catherine Biondo. Say, no, yeah, there she is. Say, I saw her come in.
It's only fitting that the winners get cookies for the cookie jars.
You want to give a speech? I figured not, but I thought I'd ask. Okay, the next one. Johanna Gutrop. Gutrop. Oh, they're in the back there. You can only win once, but Catherine Biondo again. Sorry, Catherine, you already. Lloyd Kaufman. Nancy Sutton from the Bolton. I don't know if I saw her come in. I didn't see her. Nancy Sutton. That's it?
That's 4 dozen. Thanks to everyone who participated. It really was fun, and people put a few steps on during the month of April as they were running around the hallways trying to find them. But I'll leave them here after the meeting, so if you want to come up and take a look at them, then we'll pack them away and put them in storage again, Damon.
If we could have another big round of applause for both Ellie and Mary Gottschalk for all the work they've been doing. They've spent a lot of time using their expertise to review some of these really neat items we have in storage, and I'll let them share it when the time comes, but they've got several projects in the works with us right now that I think people are really going to enjoy. So more to come in the future there. Okay, last but not least, here I go. Hopefully I'll keep everybody in a good mood. First off, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I put an invitation in your mailboxes for Rob Kretzinger's going away party. Our CEO, who's been with the company over 30 years, most of that time as our CEO. So that event will be at Edgewater. So if you want to go, please make sure you RSVP if you haven't already. And what we'll be doing, we will be providing transportation for you to that event. Depending on how many people sign up, we've got 2 buses here, obviously, our new one and our bigger one. But if we need to rent a commercial bus, we're prepared to do that too. So if you want to go, we'll make it real easy for you. It's over at Edgewater, and just please RSVP. So if we've got more people than our buses can hold, we can rent a bus to get us over there. Any questions on that? I want to say May 14th. It's on May 14th. Yeah, it's on the invite. I meant to bring a copy with me. And I have a few leftover invites in my office on my round table. So if your invite got lost or misplaced or whatever, just stop by and I'll get you a copy. So, but please RSVP soon so we can begin to plan how we're going to get our residents over there. So that ought to be a fun night. So, and it's coming really, really quick. His last day will be June 1st already. It seemed like it was 6 months ago just yesterday, and we're down to the last month here. Ryan covered any questions on that? Rob's party? Okay, if you ever have any, just stop by my office and let me know, and I'll answer that or get you the answer. Second thing, Ryan covered the treadmill pool very well. I'll just add to that we have a call tomorrow with the vendors involved in that. Obviously, with the issue with what we're dealing with the flooring, we expected better. That is about 2.5 years old, Ryan, I think. That flooring shouldn't be falling apart like that, right? I mean, so we're not very satisfied. So we've got the installer, the company that subbed him, his company, and I think our general contractor, Ned and I, are on a call. Supposed to be today, but 2 of the 5 people were sick, so it's rescheduled for tomorrow. But a couple things. We want to make sure this never happens again. We don't want to be back in this position in a couple years. And then secondly, there's some things where just strongly feel that people should be held accountable for their work. So going to be leaning into them for that too, because they should have done a better job on that. And like Ryan said, sorry for the inconvenience. That shouldn't be having issues this fast. So that's where that stands. Ryan covered the hot tub well. That's going to be resolved here quick enough. The door 6, those of you that use the door 6 exit will soon be noticing we have a new door on the way. It's picked out, it's official. We just got to get delivery and install. So the question around that door, we've been talking about it for a while. The current one doesn't have a window, if you've ever used it. So when people are coming and going, if they come at the same time, simultaneously, you could have an accident, right? So this new door, we looked at a couple different options. There was a door that was basically the top half of the door I mean, you had the metal frame around it and everything, but you had a good square window from about the mid-level up. And that would be a big improvement, but we also looked at full glass because a couple of people asked me about that, so we looked into that too. What we learned about with this type of door, the metal door and the type that it is, we learned from the contractor that those doors with that much glass in them tend to lose their functional integrity quicker. Might be some people in here with knowledge of those types of things, but they strongly recommend it, even though it would have been more expensive for us to go with glass that went basically from the top of the door, 6 inches from the top to 6 inches from the bottom. They tend to just have integrity issues much earlier. And they said, even though it's cheaper, you'd be better suited to go with the glass up top. But you're going to be able to easily see from both directions if someone's exiting, entering, and whatever. So we're excited to get that in place, and it is on the way. Shouldn't take too long, and it'll be a real quick install. We do have more ideas planned for the door 6 area this year. It's budgeted and all. We haven't had time to finalize the scope of that yet, but we will do so this year in due time. We just wanted to get that door done now because as we visit with our residents and families, there's that safety concern. So we carved that out. We're going to do it now, and then we'll do some work to dress up the interior space there, along with the outside needs some work too, especially where those railroad ties are. So that's one of our big projects for this year that will be coming later this year. Any questions on that door? Eventually. Great question. So when she was asking if it'd be automatic, what we're doing now is we're getting it installed first and foremost. So it'll function like it does now. It'll be a manual aid door, push and pull. But then we're going to look into getting it connected to the same network that operates door 1, door 2, and everything. Because what that'll add, it'll be nice to have it open automatically, for one thing. But it'll also be nice from a security perspective because we can program it to unlock and lock at the same times as the rest of the doors on the system. So right now, security's supposed to lock it. Now they're not computers, obviously, but security is supposed to lock it at the same times as these other doors lock. And sometimes things come up. They might be a little later. Sometimes they're earlier. And plus you're assuming human performance. There's been times when it hasn't gotten done that's been brought to our attention too. So that eliminates the human error performance at risk there too. So yep, that's our intention, is to get it automatic and get it on the system where it's locked automatically. So it's going to cost us a little bit, but we think it's well worth it, especially with the remote location. It's kind of out there on the edge on that east side there. So thanks for asking that question. Any more questions on door 6? Door 6 is, what's the best way to describe that? Right by the dog park, that area over there. Yeah, it's on the northeast part of the community there. So if you, Sergeant, yeah. See, you should ask the residents. I don't know what I'm doing. No, that's the best way to describe it, the sergeant, at the end of the sergeant wing there. Yeah, yep, so, but that is on the way and official. Another project we're going to be working on here, Ed and I got a lot cooking right now. This probably will be of little relevance to the residents, but we have to, if you've ever been out back or seen where our trash compactor is, where we get all our deliveries and everything, have a lot of you seen that space? Big concrete area, the trucks back up, big trash compactor right there. Well, that concrete's lost its integrity. It's settling, it's buckling, and then unfortunately we had a delivery truck recently somehow, I don't even know how to describe it. I saw it and I'm like, how did someone do this? Basically, they damaged the heck out of it. The thing about it is, though, it was already needing to be replaced. So I've been partnering with development, with Troy again, who you've met, who's a big help to us in development. And we're working on getting that. We're going to have to replace it. So that project will be coming soon. Really, the big things, it shouldn't be noticed by the residents. There's really no accommodations you need to make. Now, our team, on the other hand, we're working on contingency plans for how we're going to accept our deliveries. and how we're going to route our team members to the compactor and all that. And we'll figure those things out. So be kind of a tough one to accommodate. It's probably going to take about a week to 10 days the way it sounds, but a pretty big project that you probably won't really notice that much. So, but just looping you in like we always do. And back to the pools and everything, I just want to stress as we work with these vendors and everything on the treadmill pool right now and the hot tub. We're always stressing to our vendors again about what we're all about. We're a health and well-being community, and these are essential parts of our fitness center and our health and well-being strategy. So we talk about health and well-being a lot, and part of that is making sure our equipment is functional so our residents and our team members and our, over 200 community fitness? We have over 200 community fitness members now coming here, so it's just crazy. But we really stress that our vendors understand that health and well-being is a top priority here, and these things are needing to be resolved quickly. So just want to share that. Like every month, we've had a rush of Good Sam donations lately for our Good Samaritan Fund, which is, of course, our promise we make to our residents that they will never have to leave Wesley on Grand due to exhausting their funds, due to no fault of their own. And again, this is one of the things a lot of us are most proud of, because the most common reason people exhaust their funds is they never expected to live as long as they are. We worked with somebody recently who's late 90s, and they were like, once upon a time, I never thought I'd come close to this age. It's not their fault, but it happens, and that's why we have the good, when people are in that situation, what's that? It's, no, well, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. My point is though, with the Good Sam Fund, when you go back to the clause where it says due to no fault of their own, I mean, those are situations when people live to be, get into their late 80s and in their 90s and everything, and those funds are exhausted. That's that clause I'm referring to. And that's a common thing with the Good Sam Fund, a common reason. That's why I shared that. And it's really a beautiful thing when people come in and we have the discussion and we prepare people to be set up so they're set up for Good Sam assistance, and just the relief you see on their faces and their families' faces and everything, a really wonderful thing. But we've been having a lot of donations come in again lately. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting the fund. I just remind everybody we're in that time of year where we're really focused on raising funds for that wonderful cause. Next, I want to give an update on sales, and this is really, really good news. Where we stand today, we have 286 apartments across this big community and all levels of care. As of today, we only have 8 available units. It's 97% full. Yes, so the health center's 80 beds over there, all 80 are full today with 20 on rehab. That's outstanding. We could almost use a bigger health center, to be honest. Our memory care program up in the top of the Austin Center, 3rd floor, is full with a waiting list. Also, Sargent is full officially now. We just had a person transfer over there, so that all the Sargent rooms are spoken for too. So that's 3 of our areas full. In the Grand, we have 2 apartments open. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit open and a 1-bedroom unit open in the Grand. We're down to 2 units in the Bolton, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit, and again, a 1-bedroom unit, just like the Grand actually. And I'll add that it's been really exciting because with that refresh that we completed over there in the Bolton, that building is showing so well. People are liking what they see, and they're just really, it's showing very, very strongly. So, and you add the fact that it's very unique, it's a historical building, it's offset a little bit from the rest of the community. Everybody's different in what they're looking for, but those that are looking for that, a little ways from all the main action, a little more quiet over there, a nice, cozy, close-knit group and everything. And now it looks so much better and brighter over there. We're excited about it. We think those last 2 rooms will go pretty fast. Heck, that's about all we're going to have left here pretty soon. Central, we have a 1 IL unit opening over there. It has to be an independent living only resident. And then in assisted living, we are down to 3 one-bedroom units. Everything else is spoken for, so it's 65 out of 68. So again, overall, that's 97%, and we've got numerous wait lists throughout with people that are looking for certain size apartments in different areas. And that health center, we continue to have more and more days where we wish we were bigger, because we have people from the hospitals that want to come here and rehab, and they look on Medicare.gov online and see our rehab scores. They hear about us from the hospital systems and everything, and this is where they want to come. And sometimes we don't have a spot and they have to go elsewhere. So we always feel kind of bummed about that, but kind of just something that happens when you're getting a lot of traffic. So, but everything is looking really, really good there. So, and we've never done more tours than we're doing right now. It is really, Amy and Jeannie are just super women right now. Just, I'm sure you're seeing them. They're doing tours everywhere. It's just been crazy in a good way. So that's the census update. Any questions there? Okay, but that's all exciting. Okay, I'm looking at my long list here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, gosh. You didn't think I wasn't going to mention MediaCom. You were all waiting for that, weren't you? Actually, it was number 4. I have 9 things listed. I had MediaCom 4, and I got to 4, and I'm like, I'm skipping that till the end. Anyway, so with MediaCom, as you all know here it's been roughly about a month ago. You know, Amber was our vice president of IT, was out here at the last meeting, and we talked about what we were doing. And basically, just to rehash that, MediaCom was transitioning us from 1 network with 1 operating node to 2 networks with 2 nodes, okay? Thinking that having that much extra bandwidth, capacity, whatever you want to call it, would help with these issues. So we went about doing that. I'm sure you saw the boom trucks. They had 15, 18 people out there. They got that done. For about 2.5 weeks, or roughly, things were pretty quiet. So we were cautiously optimistic. All of you were real careful. Oh, it's going good so far, but let's see. And we did, unfortunately, I think it was the week before last week, we had an outage, and we were resetting a lot of, we were doing a lot of rebooting. A lot of you rebooted your own, and MediaCom was out here helping people reboot too. We were told that was not related to our 2 networks here, but that it was a service area issue. So other operations within our service area, we were told were having the same issues we were. And I even called a couple places, and I did confirm that. And then at the end of last week, we had issues again. And the nodes should be, when there's an outage, the nodes should reset right away, and we should not have to reboot like you all have been having to do. And Alex and Ryan, Sam, any of the maintenance team, Bailey, a lot of us have been rebooting. And we're still waiting for an answer from their engineers on what's going on there. So yeah, it started out real encouraging, but yes, we have had some hiccups. I've talked to a lot of you about those already. So kind of a work in progress there. As we talked about last month, switching vendors is very much on the table, just like we said before. We'll keep you updated on that. We continue to do our due diligence and discuss all the pieces that would entail. It's a big switch to make, a lot of steps, but we're continuing to have calls about it and look at what the best options are if we pull the trigger in that regard. And then last but not least, Amber and I shared with you last month that we have formally written a letter to MediaCom strongly feeling that we and our residents deserve a significant refund from the last 21 months. Now, we're not going to get all of the get it all refunded, obviously, but I will say what we're asking for is very significant. Their deadline to respond is coming up here, I think, in about, or what we gave them as a date, in about 10 days or so. So as soon as I know more about that, I will share it. And again, like we said last month, what we want to do, I can't rush to assume we'll get a settlement. I think we have a very justified case, and even the head of MediaCom we work with agrees with us. But if we get that settlement, our intention with that is to do something for all of you. That's not something we're going to take it and bank it and call it over. That's something we're going to do special for our residents. So again, it could be, we got over 300 people living here. We could do a credit on a monthly statement. We could talk about a project, but depending on how big that chunk of money is, what could we do that would be exciting for our residents? So as we find out how that's going to shake out, we'll be working with the resident council and everybody, talking about it at this meeting, and together we'll come up with ideas on how we want to use that money that we got refunded back. But it's not going to WOG or not going to Wesley, so to speak. It's going to it's something we want to do something nice for our residents for. So should know on that pretty soon. Sorry that was kind of long, but I just want to make sure I keep you updated. Several of you pop in regularly and ask. Yes. So she brings up a good question about a phone number to call when the internet goes out. One thing you can do that I think works pretty well, because it's really important for what Amber and I are trying to do, to have the paper trail that shows all the issues we're having, and plus Bailey documents all the concerns called in too. But the best thing to do is a lot of people text me, email me, and I've told you 24/7. I mean, I've had people send texts at 6 in the morning on a Saturday. That's fine. What I turn around and do is, there's a group of 5 of us, MediaCom, our leadership, and Bailey and Ed, and I just forward those things right to MediaCom. And some days they've gotten a lot of emails from me. And part of why that I think is the best way to do it is we've got all of that email trail, and it's very, very long. And then it puts MediaCom on the spot to provide an answer, get texts out here, do something. So that's how we've been doing it right away. So that's a good example to give. So you're watching because it's happened, right? So you're watching a basketball game, like the girls' basketball game, the infamous women's basketball game where we lost MediaCom, with 2.5 seconds left? A lot of you remember that. So you'd want to know who to call to get that thing flipped back on. Now, with that said, there have been times where our residents, because we've said all along, you're totally welcome to do this. I just ask that you let us know you had the issue so I can document it. But some residents have had luck calling MediaCom, and MediaCom can remotely get you going again. It's really strange, though, because from all the times I've heard that's happened, I'm going to guess about 1/3 of the time it's worked. The other 2/3 of the time it didn't, and they had to dispatch somebody, or one of our guys here got it fixed. But is it that MediaCom number you want? Oh, okay. You know what? We could probably post that on the in-house channel. Yeah, we'll put
Yeah.
it on the screens.
What we can do after this meeting is I can put it on a slide on the screens. It's been several meetings ago, but somebody did bring that number, so it'd be good to have it back out there again for folks. So when we're done here today, I can get that posted on the screens. So that way everybody has access to it. And anybody with a smartphone, I can get it pushed out via push notification if you have the Uniguest app. So if you need help with the app, just let me know after this too.
Yes, Lynn? So Lynn Luke is saying that it's very important when you call MediaCom to let them know that it's the Wesleyan Grand bulk account. Okay. Let's make sure that syncs up with what she said. But we'll get that on the screen so you guys have that available. That's a great idea. Yes. If it goes out in the middle of the night, have you ever tried calling security to reboot you? Okay. I'll follow up, but that's not supposed to be the case. So her question was, what do you do in the middle of the night? Or I know we've got some very early risers here and everything. You should be able to call. Security knows how to reboot. They've been told how to do it. They've been showed how to do it. So I'll follow up with that again and make sure that they know how to do that. So, because they're overnight, they're basically the more simple tasks, they're supposed to cover those. So, and rebooting is something they can handle. Now, that's a strange thing. Rebooting doesn't always work. It's just, and they haven't been able to tell me why that's the case. So, yeah, I'm still looking for that answer. But some people have good luck with it, and then other people do the same thing and it doesn't work. So, I agree. You should, nope. Sorry, my phone's ringing on my watch. No, nobody should climb on a chair. Please call us. Call me. I'll come up if I'm here. Sean and I get here pretty early, so, but I will follow up with security and Ed to make sure those guys know how to do that. So, and all of our maintenance team knows how, and a lot of us know how too.
I will say a couple points. I've helped a few residents reset their modems and routers. And to your point, Pat, some of them are very hard to get to. So there's been a couple folks that we've gotten some, like an extension cord to plug out in a more common space so you can unplug it, restart it that way. So there's some solutions we can do on that, because when we're talking about resetting it, you're not having to log in and do anything like that. It is unplugging the system, letting it power down. Typically takes about 30 seconds or so. Plug it back in, takes about 2 minutes to cycle. But that is roughly what we're doing, right? Give or take a few minutes. But typically it's the modem and the TV box. When I come up to reset, I do both at the same time, unplugging it, let it sit, and that causes the system to do a hard reset and reconfigure itself. So when we are having people reset it, it's not some complicated log into a system thing. It is unplugging and plugging back in. So, but if you need help getting that in a position where you can do that and make it more accessible, let us know and we can help kind of configure some of that too.
It's supposed to be 24 hours, yes. MediaCom is supposed to. Sometimes. So, yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Sometimes when you call them, they can get you going again remotely. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And I've asked multiple times, why is that? Because a lot of times it's the same issue. We had an outage. Why does one outage work to be set up remotely to work again and others don't? And that's been a hard answer to get. So anyway, I know everyone's getting tired of hearing it, but we're sorry again. This is still a challenge. I think it's better than it was before the two networks, but obviously still some hiccups to iron out, and other options are definitely being considered very seriously right now. Any more questions? Yes, sir. No, that's a good question. His question was, so I was talking earlier about how we've got numerous service areas full right now with a waiting list. We are very careful to, and we meet weekly regarding our residents at risk. And what we're talking about there are falls, changes in behavior. Maybe it's a cognition issue or whatever. But how we handle that is we do our very best to notice these changes where moving to another level of care might be imminent. And so it's very, very, very rare that someone has to move out because we don't have capacity. It's very rare. And the reason that is we can see it. We can see it coming usually. We work with the resident, we work with their families, and we strategically plan for it. And it works that way. Remember, like in the health center, say you have a fall or, God forbid, a stroke or something like that, you go into the hospital. Well, our liaisons and our administrator, Jack always finds a way. But we're tracking you while you're in the hospital. And with our rehab program, when we're running 18-20 on rehab, a key thing to remember is the length of stay nowadays is only about 14 to 20 days, right? So if Lloyd goes to the hospital, you immediately go to the front of the list. We take care of our own, and that includes all areas. So if a Wesley on Grand resident needs a different level of care, this is most common with the health center, but I'd have to ask Jack. I don't even remember the last time. Shauna's back there. I don't know if she remembers the time, but we always seem to find a way, despite the demand, to get our residents in. So I think the key to that is being aware. A lot of conditions, chronic comorbidities that people have, we're watching, we're talking to residents and families, and most of the time, fortunately, you can kind of see it coming and plan for it, and we do so accordingly. And then the quick events, the serious events, that usually means a health center stay, you immediately go to the front of the list, and with so much rehab, as much rehab as we're doing right now, those beds turn rather quickly, and then we have you slotted in to come in first. So, yes. You're asking about the stay-at-home services. You know what that is, guys? Are you referring to personal care services in the apartments? Oh, yeah. I mean, so Wesley at Home, which is personal services, that is not run by WOG, but they're our teammates. That's Wesley Life provided, and those types of services apply. See, that's one of the first things we'll look at. Say a person starts, or a couple starts to maybe have certain challenges and they're starting to struggle in independent living. Personal services is a great option, and it's commonly used to make life a little bit easier so the person can age in place in their apartment. That's always the ultimate goal. And it has done so. In the 9 years I've been here, I've seen it work over and over and over again to do exactly that. There's been residents that stayed in IL an extra 2 or 3 years because they had personal services assistance. So, and back to when I was talking about resident at risk meetings and everything, those are some of the strategies that we talk about with you and your family. the services that are available to help you with whatever might be making life a little bit more challenging, and we're looking for fall risk. We're looking for confusion, wandering behaviors. That's something we have to keep a close eye on. Um, yeah, just a lot of different things. So, but yeah, that is a big strategy. Is it's got to be safe, but ultimately, the longer we can have somebody live in their apartment safely, that's always the goal. So, yep, that's your home, and that's where we want to keep you as long as we can. All right, you guys are wearing me out. These are, yeah. Are we supposed to wash the windows? Yeah, it's coming. I don't know the date, but no, we didn't cancel window washing. It'll be coming. If Ed was here, he'd probably have that date. So, yeah, we better wash them or I'll be running. Nope, they're coming. The window washers will be coming. So I can actually reach out to him myself and find out that date. So I think Mother Nature washed them last night. Good question, though. I should have brought that up. So that's coming too. Yes. The garage cleaning. Just writing that down here. I'll pass that along. I'll talk to Ed about that. So our question was, when are we getting the garages cleaned? I'll talk to Ed about that and maybe have Ryan post that time range on there where we expect to get those done. So another good question. Anything else? Oh, I'm about to call the mercy rule here. Yes, Christy? Oh, thank you. You're very kind. It's a pleasure to work with everybody, believe me. Our team talks about, haha. Someone thinks I'm not being serious. No, it really is. So anyway, going once, going twice. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great month. And remember to RSVP for Rob's event so we have a count. That'll really help us plan to get you over there, those that are interested. One more question. What's that? Oh, thank you. No, there's not a meeting next month. Yep, it's a holiday on that last Monday, so we don't do one in May. Thank you. You guys are reminding me of things that I should have brought up. So, all right, thank you very much.